Tori Roloff on the possibility of resuming filming for Little People, Big World. We would contemplate it. Greetings, viewers. Welcome back to my channel. For the latest news updates, please subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. Tori Roloff expressed that she and Zach would consider participating in a reality television show again, albeit with specific stipulations. Image credit. TLC Tori and Zach Roloff may have ceased participating in reality television, but they have not entirely dismissed the concept. In February 2024, the pair from Little People, Big World declared the conclusion of their filming for the enduring reality television series. According to Monsters and Critics, Tori and Zach announced the news during an episode of their podcast, Raising Heights. We experienced both enjoyable and unenjoyable moments in reality television. However, we are ultimately appreciative of our crew and producer, and we eagerly anticipate our next chapter. They informed their audience. The decision was challenging for Tori and Zach. Nonetheless, Tori noted that she has witnessed families being fragmented due to reality television. Their eldest kid, Jackson, conveyed his lack of interest in filming, which influenced their decision. As of April 2025, Tori indicates that she and Zach are amenable to resuming filming. Tori and Zach Roloff believe they are not sufficiently compelling to warrant a television program. In a recent Q&A on her Instagram stories, Tori informed her 2.2 million followers that filming remained a possibility. A fan inquired, "Are you still filming?" Tori announced that they are no longer filming LPBW, but she reminded her followers that she and Zach maintain a podcast and YouTube page to keep their fans informed. Subsequently, Tori was inquired if she would contemplate filming again. This time, Tori provided some details, citing one reason for her and Zach's reluctance to pursue the notion thus far. She stated, "We have indicated that if it were solely our family, we would contemplate it. Nevertheless, we believe we lack the intrigue necessary to sustain a show independently." Tori stated, "Should we film again, we would aim to return to the original premise of LPBW, an educational program that informed viewers about dwarfism, not a program focused on relationships." Zach and Tori were the final Roloff siblings to continue on LPBW through season 25. Prior to then, Zach's twin brother Jeremy, his spouse Audrey Roloff, his sister Molly Roloff, and his younger brother Jeremy Roloff all ceased sharing their private life with TLC's cameras. As Tori indicated, current seasons of LPBW have emphasized the family's relationships, in stark contrast to the earlier years, which depicted the Roloffs' daily life and informed viewers about dwarfism. A significant narrative arc in season 25 involved the conflict between Zach and his father, Matt, about the sale of Roloff farms. In previous seasons, after Matt and Amy Roloff's divorce, LPBW chronicled Amy's experiences as a newly single individual re-entering the dating arena. Amy encountered her present spouse, Chris Merrick, during filming, and their nuptials were showcased on LPBW. Matt's recent relationship with his fiancée, Karen Chandler, has also been highlighted on the show. It is uncertain whether their engagement was recorded for a forthcoming season. Little People, Big World faces uncertainty, as TLC has yet to disclose its future, if it exists. Matt's supporters desired the broadcast of his and Karen's wedding. However, several LPBW followers believe the series should conclude permanently. Tori and Zach Roloff from LPBW discussed the somber reality for their children. Tori and Zach Roloff gained recognition with the series, Little People, Big World. Over the years, viewers have witnessed the expansion of their family with 3 children, each exhibiting a type of dwarfism. Zach and Tori have disclosed their experiences with parenting their children. Audiences witnessed Zach and Tori initiate their family on Little People, Big World. Little People, Big World centered on the Roloff family. Zach and his parents, Matt and Amy, each have a kind of dwarfism, as depicted on the show. Throughout the series, audiences see the Roloff children establish their own families. Zach wed Tori Patton in 2015 at the family property. The couple has 3 children together. Their first child, Jackson Kyle, was born in 2017. The second, Lila Ray, was born in 2019. In 2022, they had their third child, Josiah Luke. All 3 children, like their father, possess a variant of dwarfism. Tori and Zach recently discussed their family on their podcast, Raising Heights. The recent episode description states, "The discussion explores the distinct challenges of parenting children with dwarfism and the effective techniques they have employed." If you are a parent or aspire to be one, this episode will undoubtedly appeal to you. According to Parade, the couple mentioned their eldest son, Jackson, has an interest in athletics. They emphasize the importance of maintaining perspective as he ages. The two discuss participation in school fitness programs, including the pacer test. As seen, children with dwarfism frequently contend with their average height peers surpassing them. Zach, drawing from personal experience, acknowledges that he has had similar emotions. Nevertheless, he repressed that. Zach believed he ought to have communicated his emotions to his family and wished to prevent this from occurring in his own family. Tori stated, "Encourage our children to excel, and that is all. Do your utmost and disregard the remainder." She also believed it was detrimental for children to harbor unrealistic expectations for physical activity. Zach remarked, "He must learn to discover his own joy and competitive spirit. Not consistently competitive with others, but rather competitive with himself. The chasm between him and his buddies will only widen." Zach ultimately pondered, "It is merely us overseeing the situation. Not perpetually correcting or lecturing at times, simply observing and maintaining awareness." In terms of parenting, he believed it encompasses a multitude of meanings. Have you listened to Zach and Tori's podcast? Did you observe them on Little People, Big World? Ensure you return to TV Show's Ace for the most recent updates on reality television and celebrity news. Jacob Roloff contemplates his choice to depart from Little People, Big World, aversion to the program, commendable aspects of his experience on reality television. However, the TLC star has leveraged his experiences, utilizing the income generated by the show to cultivate a fulfilling and dynamic life with his wife and children, as he recently stated. Jacob Roloff departed from Little People, Big World 10 years ago. Jacob was raised on his family's TLC series, which documented his life with his parents, Matt and Amy Roloff, and his siblings Jeremy, Zach, and Molly Roloff. He departed from the show upon reaching the age of 18, a choice he has never lamented. "This spring signifies a decade since I received my earnings from the show in which I participated for more than 10 years of my life," Jacob, 28, stated in a March 2025 Instagram post. "At 18, I possessed the autonomy to decline the contract, which I did, and subsequently departed from home largely due to my disdain for the show and reality television as a whole." Following Jacob's departure from television, he utilized the earnings from LPBW to reconstruct his life with his wife, rather than exploit the opportunity for maximum riches, regardless of the consequences, he remarked. Jacob wed Isabel Rock in 2019. Their son, Mateo, was born in 2021. Since departing from Little People, Big World, Jacob has intermittently spoken about his experiences during the program. In 2016, he stated on Instagram that he would never reprise a character on LPBW. In a 2020 social media post, he disclosed that he had been sexually assaulted by a producer associated with the show. Several years later, he disclosed in a Twitter post that he was compensated approximately $6 per hour to be recorded throughout my entire childhood. "I am still referred to as wealthy in a contemptuous manner, amusingly." Jacob envisions a future for Roloff Farms that extends beyond Little People, Big World. Connected Jacob and Isabel Roloff have confirmed their residence on Roloff Farms in Little People, Big World. Currently, Jacob is assisting his father with the daily operations of managing Roloff Farms. He resides on the premises with his spouse and child. Jacob described raising his own child in his hometown as insightful. This has prompted him to contemplate the future of Roloff Farms. "What is the farm devoid of a television crew?" He pondered. "What is the farm without television?" Roloff Farms was heavily showcased in Little People, Big World, with a significant storyline in the later seasons revolving around a dispute between Matt and Zach, Jacob's brother, regarding a potential sale of the property. In a subsequent comment, Jacob stated he would never possessed the financial means to acquire this property at market value. Nevertheless, he retains a vision for his family's estate. He aims to establish it as an integral component of the local community rather than only a destination for LPBW enthusiasts. Jacob said that pumpkin season remains significant for their farm, and he values the faithful patrons who visit annually. He envisions the farm fostering a more localized communal space rather than depending predominantly on external tourism. While it has been enjoyable to meet individuals from various countries, I would also appreciate the opportunity to connect with more of our local neighbors in Oregon. Farmland is now sacred, he wrote, particularly in a context of nearly depleted topsoil and declining nutrient density in our food supply. On a broader scale, as agricultural property nationwide is acquired and developed, I am appreciative of the opportunity to manage this land to the best of my ability. Tori Roloff of Little People, Big World makes a provocative assertion regarding TLC. Tori Roloff is revealing a lesser-known aspect of the filming process for TLC reality television shows. Following more than 10 years on Little People, Big World, Roloff disclosed a noteworthy observation regarding the network's environment characterized by restricted communication among cast members across various episodes. In a recent episode of their podcast Raising Heights, former reality stars Zach and his wife discussed the authentic experiences behind the scenes of their family's TLC program, revealing that they were discouraged from engaging with other reality stars at the network. Tori, 33, asserted during the Thursday, January 23rd episode of the couple's podcast that TLC did not desire the performers to interact. I believe they intended for the talent to refrain from communicating with one another. Tori and Zach, who had been featured on Little People, Big World since season 10, ultimately chose to exit the show, with their farewell appearance occurring in the season 25 finale. In their discussion, Tori and Zach referenced fellow TLC alum Jinger Duggar Vuolo, who was raised on her family's reality series, 19 Kids and Counting. Tori and Zach just encountered Jinger and her spouse, Jeremy Vuolo, at their initial in-person meeting earlier this month. Tori proposed that TLC was likely apprehensive, to which Zach, 34, seemingly concurred, remarking, "We weren't all organized like a union." Reality television lacked union representation. Tori remarked, "We briefly discussed that with Jinger and Jeremy and how beneficial it would have been to have communication with someone else engaged in the same endeavor." Tori Roloff, a former star of Little People, Big World, utilized Instagram on Monday, September 16th, to commemorate the wedding of her younger brother, Jack Body, by sharing a slideshow of photographs from his recent ceremony. The photographs featured several charming images of Audrey and her spouse Jeremy alongside their 4 children, Ember, aged 7, Bode, aged 4, Radley, aged 2, and Mirabella, born in May 2024. Bode and Radley were attired in miniature tuxedos, while Ember and Mirabella wore elegant white dresses. Audrey coordinated with her sons in a strapless black gown with a side slit. Additional images depicted the bride and groom, McKenna Body, exchanging vows, dancing, and waving from a balcony. Audrey captioned this image, "My younger brother married this weekend." The children undertook significant responsibilities in facilitating the entrance of the magnificent bride down the aisle, and they performed admirably. Congratulations to @JackBody and @McKenna_Body. It was an extraordinarily beautiful and memorable day commemorating your love story. We hold you both in great affection. I am thrilled to have acquired such an extraordinary sister and aunt for our children. It is astonishing that we did not capture any photographs with the bride and groom, aside from the professional ones. Radley's suit was the same attire worn by the ring bearer, my mother's best friend's son, at my parents' wedding, which she preserved for all these years, and remarkably, it fit Rad perfectly on the wedding day. Commentators were captivated by the lovely photographs. "Your family is exceptionally gorgeous," exclaimed one admirer. "Truly exquisite, and those shoes worn by the boys," remarked another individual.
"Who taught Bode that knee pop?"
"Too adorable," said another Instagram user. LPBW. Did Zach Roloff's net worth increase or decrease following his departure from the show? Zach Roloff, a star of Little People Big World, is the sole son of Matt and Amy, both of whom continue to feature on the program. All of his siblings have departed from the realm of reality television. Fans of LPBW are cognizant that Zach and Matt have maintained a contentious relationship since the familial dispute. They have recently returned to the show for an additional season. Numerous rumors regarding his departure from the show have circulated on the internet. Ultimately, he resolved to declare his departure from the realm of reality television in his new podcast with Tori. The couple has explicitly stated their intention to lead a life away from the public eye. Hence, viewers began to speculate about Zach's financial status following his departure from the show. LPBW. Zach Roloff's increasing net worth disclosed as he departures from reality television. Zach Roloff, a star of LPBW, has been associated with the series for several years. Regrettably, he was not Matt Roloff's preferred candidate to transfer ownership of the family farm. The TLC singer has maintained apart from his family since the familial conflict. Nonetheless, viewers of Little People Big World are aware that he has other alternative sources of income outside the TLC remuneration. According to Celebrity Net Worth, Zach's net worth is estimated at $700,000. He has received $7,000 every episode from the reality television program for several years. Consequently, a substantial portion of his wealth originates from that source. In addition, he has served as a tour guide at Roloff Farms for several years, where patrons are charged $350 each ticket. Regrettably, he has relinquished the position for the previous 2 years. Zach's spouse significantly contributes financially as a photographer and social media influencer. She partners with small firms and promotes their items to her fans. Zach has recently initiated a new revenue stream with his podcast, The Raising Height. He has been co-hosting the podcast with his wife, and they share their life stories. Fans are pleased to observe the couple's podcast achieving remarkable success. They have attained elevated ratings following a single program. Additionally, he occupies himself with the new project at his residence and the construction of their new shop. LPBW. Zach and Tori announced their departure from the show. The stars of LPBW have entertained the audience for years with their compelling narrative. Fans are cognizant that the couple's involvement in the show would conclude due to their ongoing conflict with Matt Roloff. Recently, Zach astonished all by affirming the news of his departure on his newest podcast. Tori inquired, "Will we return to Little People Big World?" Concurrently, her husband interjected, asserting that they would not return, which was explicitly communicated in the previous cycle. Zach stated that the chapter in their lives has concluded for various reasons. He also indicated that they had not received an official request for participation in season 26. However, the TLC star was resolute that he and his wife will not reappear on television. Remain attentive to TV season and spoilers for further insights regarding Zach and his new life following LPBW. Duration of reading: 3 minutes. Jinger Duggar and Tori Roloff are acquaintances and have been observed socializing together. Recently, Jinger has explored other topics, including the influence of reality television on her life and the restrictions imposed by cult doctrines that hindered her ability to learn swimming throughout childhood. She is currently exploring her friendship with Tori Roloff, a former cast member of Little People, Big World. The two had only lately spent time together in person. However, Jinger disclosed their shared activities. They possess numerous similarities. Since 2018, people have been surprised by the perceived friendship between Jinger Duggar and Tori Roloff. Subsequently, in early January 2025, the two former TLC alumni finally convened in person. At last, we convene in person. Tori made an announcement on her Instagram story. Jinger conveyed identical news, stating, "It was a pleasure having you all present." Neither the Vualos nor the Roloffs chose to provide specifics regarding their gathering. Their social media posts suggested that Tori and Zach had journeyed to California to visit them, rather than vice versa. Certain fans expressed optimism that Tori and Zach may perhaps be guests on the Jinger and Jeremy podcast. Listeners have been persistently requesting podcast guests from Jinger. In the extensive Jinger and Jeremy podcast episode above, Jinger explores her experiences as a reality television star. She recounted her experience of encountering fellow TLC stars, including the actors of the notorious 90-Day Fiancé program. She found it disconcerting to acknowledge that these exceptionally atypical individuals were part of the same network as herself, and to comprehend that viewers perceived her family as peculiar or even more bizarre. Her upbringing occurred within a cult. Jinger also mentioned that some of the production crews who filmed 19 Kids and Counting, and subsequently Counting On, also filmed other families for TLC. Subsequently, Jinger remarked on the experience of viewing programs and interacting with actors, contrasting it with the reality of stardom. "I recently accompanied my friend Victoria," she stated. "She astonished me with tickets to visit the Gilmore Girls set. It appears they attended jointly." Considering that Jinger and Tori just spent time together in person, it seems probable that she is alluding to Tori Roloff when she mentions Victoria. Superficially, one may assume that the majority of the Duggar family members share more similarities with Audrey Roloff than with Tori. Audrey possesses a social agenda and has been forthright about it, which aligns closely with the Duggar ideology. However, not all Duggars are identical. Audrey and Jeremy Roloff opted for a challenging agrarian lifestyle for themselves and their offspring. Jinger and Jeremy relocated to Los Angeles. Tori and Zach have also relocated from the family homestead. It is not unexpected that Jinger and Tori established this bond. It is noteworthy that two occupied mothers managed to allocate time for an in-person meeting. Critics accuse Matt Roloff of greed for selling Family Farm for more than $2 million recently. Matt Roloff, a star of Little People, Big World, has ignited much controversy among fans following his announcement regarding the sale of the family farm. Despite Roloff Farms remaining unsold, he continues to face significant criticism for his decision to post it for sale, particularly following the release of the current promotional video for the property. This summer, if you have engaged with social media, you have likely encountered videos adhering to the Holy Air fad, which allows individuals a moment to boast, accompanied by the song Soul Survivor by Young Jeezy starring Akon. In the instance of the Roloffs, Matt, in collaboration with his real estate agent, is showcasing that the Oregon farm he is selling is not only an ordinary farm, it is a really notable and renowned property. This is not a typical farm listing. This is an outstanding property with limitless potential. Greetings to Helvetia. The caption on the post stated, "Welcome to your dream." This is not a typical farm listing. This is an outstanding property with limitless potential. Greetings to Helvetia. The caption on the post stated, "Welcome to your dream."